Welcome to WCO, Working Class Opera. Do you like goats?
How do you feel about receiving just a raw egg for lunch?
When you get knocked down, do you get up again?
Do you like tacos? Sorry,
Your voice was like, do you care him?
Well, do you care him?
Do you care him? Today's episode is going to be about our precious goat, the one and only Yoshihashi, who recently just got his head smashed in at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York.
Yeah, we actually recorded this the first time on the second last night of Destruction because we were like, oh, nothing's gonna happen on Destruction. And then Destruction happened.
Yeah. Haha. We should have known better. But yeah. So we got to see Yoshihashi take on fucking Kenta,
Fucking Kenta.
who fucked him up.
Yeah, which was about expected.
Yeah. No, like nobody went into this expecting Yoshihashi to win.
No. Like, I believed in him, but I didn't think he would do it.
Yeah, and like that's not a you never go into a Yoshihashi match thinking he's gonna win. It's a pleasant surprise when he does.
Yeah, like when he beat fucking Kenny.
Oh, that was so fucking funny. I think that's like that whole match with like Kenny like rolling him up in the mats outside the ring, like turning him into like a tacos burrito.
Yeah.
Tacos being the nickname that Shinsuke Nakamura gave Yoshihashi on Excursion.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shit.
Yeah, that was so funny. And I think like with the whole not expecting him to win thing, it's not because we think that he sucks or anything. It's just,
He just loses and it's fine.
yeah, you know, him losing doesn't mean that he sucks. It's just that he has to get up and try again. Like, that's the whole charm of his character, that he never gives up.
Yes. Well, yeah, he made a shirt saying as much after he smashed his face in at last Destruction.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, I mean, it's an interesting character to have. Especially
Yes.
when you're BFFs with little Kazu.
Yeah. I think fucking anyone would be insecure being friends with Okada, really.
Yeah, and
Shinsuke tier.
yeah, I mean, the whole relationship between Yoshihashi and Okada is just so cute.
Very like, no, I forgot what I wanted to call it.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange, like, Yoshihashi is obviously never been on the level of Okada and never will be on the level of Okada. It's just like too much of an age difference, too much of a raw talent difference, too much of a looks difference. You know, like Yoshihashi was never going to be a massive star.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Not
Yeah.
everyone can be a main event guy.
Most of the guys in New Japan aren't going to be Okada tier.
Yeah, that's true. And that's
I say
fine.
this as like a slightly delusional Despy stan who is convinced he's like main eventer equivalent for the juniors.
But yeah, you need these middle card guys to make the main event guys look cool.
Yeah.
It's like if we had main event guys opening matches, wouldn't it just be less special?
Yeah. And also like very 0 to 100 sort of thing.
Yeah, which is like cool when you're opening the Tokyo Dome and shit.
Yeah.
But for like everyday kind of, you know, weekly country tour kind of things, it just, yeah, you lose the magic.
Yeah, and also if I have to watch fucking long ass main events for the entire show, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad in New Japan, especially with the match length.
Yeah, there's some long fucking matches in Nuge, that's for sure. I'm just very glad that the whole Kenny and Okada thing is over, because I could not sit through another fucking hour-long match.
Yeah, the thing, they're not even good to rewatch, is the thing. They're exciting in the moment because you're getting all caught up in the spectacle of it all, but then it's like, oh my god, I never want to see this shit again.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's like matches that I've watched like 20 plus times because they're so fucking good.
Yeah. I end up watching like a lot of these mid-card matches over and over again because they're not main events. They're shorter and they tend to be sillier and more fun.
Yeah. And they can get a bit more like experimental, I think.
Yeah, so, like you can get some antics, you can get a little bit of storyline going. You know, it's not all do or die.
Yeah. And also like Yano exists. And then
Yeah, Yano, the mid-card god.
yeah.
But Yoshihashi, yeah.
Today we're here to talk about Yoshihashi. Should we talk about Yoshihashi? Or should we quickly cover Destruction
I
and then go
mean,
into Yoshihashi?
You covered Destruction, and I'm just going to continue looking at this picture of Yoshihashi that I've got up on my screen.
Destruction was kind of obviously Destruction. It's by and large a nothing tour. I say that even though last year Destruction ended on Jade joining Bullet Club and Yoshihashi smashing his face, which we will talk about again later. But then on the final night of Destruction, right after our stupid asses said that nothing was going to happen, we get to see Kishin Liger again. The fourth time ever, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way it set up that specific match also was very, very similar to the last time when Kishin Liger showed up against Taichi. Just the way the attacking the mask, dragging out the table, the general foolery of it. It felt like it was like basically just a condensed version of the last match.
Yeah, I think it was a definite throwback.
It was absolutely a throwback. When it started, I was like, oh, this is like really like that Kishin Liger match. Are we going to see him again? And we're probably not because this is like fucking Destruction. And then we got Kishin Liger.
Surprise, bitch!
Yeah, so that was interesting and exciting. And the definite throwback is making me tinfoil about how Taichi-gun is going to fall through Taichi pulling some bullshit through a Suzuki and Liger match.
Yeah, I'm very sus. I will say that.
Yeah, but the fact that they're doing it at King of Pro Wrestling next week, it's like, that's like, it really is kind of Dome retirement match tier.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a final rematch at the Dome.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see them announce that match for King of Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, I'm completely convinced that this match is going to end in like a no contest or something, and then they'll see each other at the Dome.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. Because, like you said, that is like a Dome tier match for sure.
So we will see about that one. God, other shit happened during the last night of Destruction, right? I just got too caught up in Liger to think about anything else.
Yeah, well, the whole thing with Sho and Yo wanting to take on GOD.
Oh yeah, they're acting up again.
Biting off a bit more than you can chew there, boys. But good for them for going at it.
Speaking of King of Pro Wrestling, he's finally coming back. Oh my fucking god, Despi's return match. I'm really surprised they didn't announce a double comeback of Hiromu and Despi.
Yeah, I feel like this has to be.
Because Hiromu said he's all healed up and he's waiting for the most exciting moment. So is he going to charge in unannounced or something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, he has to be, like, waiting whoever wins the junior heavyweight belt. God, I don't even know who has it right now.
Ospreay has it. He's challenging ELP. I have stressed myself into fantasy booking that Despi will challenge Ospreay after this, though. We will see in, like, a week, I guess. I have just been, like, thinking about this constantly because I have like 90% of my brain power dedicated to just Despi.
Yeah, but this isn't a Despi episode.
Okay, we've talked about like Destruction. We talked about King of Pro Wrestling. Let's fucking talk about Yoshihashi. That's what we're here for.
Yes, let's talk about how people have to learn to understand that he's an underdog.
Yes, and that he's good and you should like him. Not should. Must. There's no room for taste here.
Yes.
No personal preferences. You love Yoshihashi now.
It's compulsory.
Or you will at the end of this episode.
Yoshihashi loving or bust.
Yes.
I mean, how could you not love someone who, okay, he got hit by a car when he was a little kid? How old was he? Like, you know, he was like tiny.
He was like 6.
Yeah. He got hit by a car. He had to go to the hospital, and the lady who hit him with the car had...
Who hit him with the car?
Yeah, hit him with the car, had to take him to the hospital because his parents were running a restaurant or something like that and couldn't...
Yeah, they were too busy.
Yeah. And so he was fine with that. He went to the hospital with her and she was all very apologetic. But he always was like a little concerned and uncomfortable whenever he saw her car. But just went along anyway. I was just like, oh, sweetie.
And by the way, he shared this when we switched over to Reiwa as his first memory of
Yeah,
Heisei.
this is like his big romantic way to introduce a new year is I got hit by a car when I was a little kid. Which is so very Yoshihashi. If you've never read his diary, you really should, because he just drops these massive bombs with like the absolute most calm and unbothered approach I've ever seen.
It's crazy. He just says the dumbest shit all the time.
It's like when he that story about him trying to gain weight when he first joined the dojo.
Yeah.
With like drinking a liter of protein milk before breakfast.
Yeah, and then he threw up the protein milk most of the time anyway.
Duh. Oh my god. That's so much food.
Yeah.
Because he was so small.
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to like make himself heavier for the tryouts too, to hit the weight minimum by wearing like 5 layers of shirts or whatever. And like so many socks until his feet were just like crammed into his shoes. And even then, it took 3 tries to get in.
He didn't even get in. There was a guy who dropped out and they were just like, well, we've got a space open, so I guess you can go in.
It's very like, I don't want to call it luck, but it kind of is. But also
luck,
perseverance,
everything you need to make your dreams come true.
Yeah, and even then, they're not quite going to come true, but that's okay. Because I've seen some random people mention on Twitter, like, oh, I don't really like get Yoshihashi. Is it like a cultural difference thing? And it's like, visually, yes, with his like Monkey King, whatever. But as far as his character, he's just an underdog.
And he's just going to try and do his best. And even if he does lose, it's not a reflection on him.
The other guy was just better.
And it's like you see in so many of his matches, the guys he goes up against in his singles matches, a lot of the times they are like hard heels. So they're really pushing that angle of like, you're supposed to be supporting him, not because you think he'll win, but
because he's suffering.
Because he's suffering. Oh my god.
Well, what else do you call that match he had with Suzuki in the G1?
I can't say that on here.
Yeah, we're keeping a family-friendly podcast. We can't talk about that. But watch it. You know, if you're interested, watch Suzuki versus Yoshihashi from the 2018 G1, and you'll understand.
Yeah. And the match that he had with Knight in the was it the New Beginning?
Maybe.
Yeah, but it was like one of those ones where Naito has this weird relationship with Yoshihashi. They tried out at the same time. Naito obviously got in on his first try, became very popular quite quickly, and then went on excursion and came back as an even more popular character.
Yeah.
Whereas Yoshihashi is Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
And it's very obvious that Naito sees his old self in Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
Like he sees this, you know, because old Naito, back when he was a babyface, I wouldn't say that he was as, what's a nice way to say pathetic?
I don't know, but I know what you mean.
It's like he was a little more arrogant, he was a little more confident than Yoshihashi is, but they're both quite pure baby faces.
Yes.
And I think Naito is like, I had to go overseas and change my whole look and persona and everything up to become popular. I don't understand why you're not doing that.
Yeah.
Especially because they're the same age as well.
I hate thinking about wrestler ages.
He's very much got that thing of, I want to see you prosper, but also I hate you.
Yeah. Just as a quick aside about wrestler ages, just by the way, Yo and Sonata are the same age.
That's messed up.
It's not good.
I don't like that.
No. Anyway, but the thing is, even with all the Yoshihashi like not being able to make himself as successful as Naito, it's not that for lack of trying. Yoshihashi is trying and he's good. But the thing is, he's in a promotion full of great wrestlers.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to stand out when like your best friend is Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, and then before that you were, you know, best buddies with fucking Shinsuke Nakamura.
And right now you're being coddled by a fucking Tanahashi Hiroshi.
Yeah, and then also you happen to be really close with Ishii Tomohiro out of the ring. Like, he's just surrounded by geniuses. Even if he tries his best, he's never going to catch up.
Yeah, and that's fine.
It is fine.
Like we were saying before, you can't have a card full of main event matches.
You truly can't.
You need your warm-up guys. You need your guys to make other guys look better.
Yes.
And Yoshihashi's at that level where, like, beating him is not like a huge deal, but it's still like a step up from beating like fucking Yujiro or something.
Yeah. Then when he does win, it's this huge deal.
Yeah, and I think if he won more, it would be less of a huge deal.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the things I love about watching Yoshihashi matches is like, oh my god, he could actually win this.
He doesn't most of the time, but it's nice to think about.
Yeah, it's just you get really excited in that moment. It's like, oh my god, he could actually do this. He could actually get like 1 fucking point in the G1.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of thing. It's like, it doesn't matter really in the end if he wins or loses. If he wins, it's really cool. But if he loses, it's not like a negative.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, oh, yeah, okay.
I think a lot of people call Yoshihashi like bad or whatever because lost record, and it's true he loses a lot, but like a bunch of other wrestlers lose a lot as well.
Yeah.
It's like even when your favorite loses, they don't just suddenly become bad now.
No, this isn't stats based.
Also, like, especially if you're a fucking heel stand, because your favorites are gonna lose all the time to begin with because they're heels. It doesn't mean they're shit wrestlers.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of the point. Like, Yoshihashi is basically there to be a punching bag to show us how bad the heels are.
Yeah, like, oh god, they're picking on this poor defenseless goat. What the fuck is wrong with them?
Yeah, it's like when, like, we're going back to that Naito match. That was the first time we've seen Naito be a true heel in quite a long time, because leading up to that, he'd been basically a total babyface.
Yeah.
And he was losing some of that ingobernable edge.
Yeah.
And putting him into that match, you know, having spitting and slapping and ball kicking and everything like that, and just being a general bastard,
Yeah.
it really honed that edge a little bit.
Yeah.
Made you go, all right, Naito's a bad guy. He's cool, but he's not nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting.
I mentioned Yoshihashi being friends with a couple people outside the ring, but one of his friendships that we specifically, but probably the fandom a bit more broadly, I assume the Lucha guys knew about this already, was Yoshihashi's friendship with Doki.
Oh yeah, that's so cute.
It's very good. It's so sweet. They're besties.
Yeah, because when he was over in Mexico on excursion, he'd basically like raised Doki.
Well, Taichi did too.
Yeah.
Imagine having Yoshihashi and Taichi as your wrestling parents.
That's...
And then Milano's also like a kind of deadbeat dad figure. Since he's the one who like foisted Doki off on Taichi.
Yeah, it's like, it's no wonder Doki is the way he is, hey?
Yeah. But yeah, Yoshihashi and Doki were in Mexico at the same time, and they're super, super besties. If you go back on both their Twitters, but especially Doki's, because Doki likes to care post about stuff all the time. He doesn't do it so much now, but he used to. And he talks about how important Yoshihashi is to him, and he used some really high label for their relationship. What was it again?
No, I don't
Benefactor?
remember.
Benefactor.
Yeah, something like that.
And then on Yoshihashi's Twitter, he's talking about, you know, like, thanks Doki's mum for Doki being born.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Yeah. Doki in general seems to be quite well liked. If you go far back enough, you can even see Bushi being sweet to him on Twitter. Everyone loves Doki.
Everyone loves Doki.
I think he should be signed full time.
I really hope so.
I hope so.
Because with like, I mean, I mentioned this before, but with Taichi leaving the junior division, there's still that big gap that they haven't really filled in.
I think Despy is like training up to it. He's going to be the next big bad bully. And then Doki can be the new Despy.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not like I want the same dynamics to keep repeating over and over again, but it's, you know, Despy is the number 2. You can't not have a number 2.
Yeah, exactly.
In Taichi, there's definitely give him a couple more years, and he's never going to be Suzuki tier, but you know what I mean. Anyway, Yoshihashi. As much as we love to talk about Suzuki-gun in general, that's because wrestling's good and I like it.
Wrestling is fun. You know what else is good? Yoshihashi.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about Yoshihashi's friendship with Lil Kaz.
Little Kazu, yeah.
Yeah, so we were talking about how they've been BFFs for like forever. And we talked about Yoshihashi joining the dojo. Well, basically, at the time that Yoshihashi joined, his only classmate at that time was Okada. Like, he was in the same sort of class as, like, Fale and Hiromu and stuff, but they were, like, lower and higher than him. The only one in his actual class was Okada.
Yeah.
Kind of like Tsuji and Uemura. Like, they're in the same class as Umino and Narita, but they debuted at the same time. They were trained at the same time. So first things first, the age difference. Yoshihashi wasn't exactly an old young lion, but he's older. And when Kazu joined the dojo, who was like 20, so pretty big age difference to start with. And obviously Kazu being, he's had all his training before he actually joined the dojo. He got all his skill, all his talent. Like, he'd been a wrestler since he was like 14, whereas with Yoshihashi, he'd been like a chef. The experience levels, even though Yoshihashi was older, Kazu was obviously a lot more experienced, a lot more naturally talented, prettier, taller,
marketable.
Yeah, a lot more Tanahashi's type.
Well, I mean, we've obviously been proven wrong on that front. Can I just interrupt the story to mention that Tanahashi calls Yoshihashi Nobu now? And he has explicitly said he's jumping straight to first name with no honorifics with him to try and close the gap between them rapidly.
Yes, Tana being very forward, as usual.
It's, it would be, like, extremely rude if it wasn't Tana, basically.
Yeah, but with Yoshihashi, very much he's very easygoing personality-wise. Like, everything I've seen of him,
he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, like, if you've ever watched like Yoshihashi Camera, which is just him with a camera filming random shit.
Yeah.
Which is usually chaos on the bus, or just like extreme close-ups of Goto's face. Or extreme close-ups of Okada's naked crotch covered with tape and very little else. Yeah, that's an interesting series if you've ever wondered on the inner workings of chaos. Yoshihashi Camera.
The best one is when Okada forgot his lunch. So Yoshihashi goes to give him some food and he just pulls out of his bag a single raw egg. It's not wrapped in anything. He didn't have it in a lunchbox. He just had an egg sitting in there.
And the look on Okada's face is just like, how, what, why, what, where? He's just like fully, he takes the egg, looks at the egg and just like cracks up. It's just like, I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah.
Yoshihashi's justification for having just an egg, when he was a little kid, like in like kindergarten or whatever, they had a chicken at their school, and at the end of the week you could take home an egg. So his justification for having just a fucking egg in his bag was, but I'm really good at carrying eggs.
He's so fucking weird.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that when we were talking about his diary, these are the kind of weird stories that we're talking about.
Yeah.
That he doesn't seem to recognize that they're weird.
Yeah, like the one where he talks about getting groped by a ghost in the UK.
Oh my god. Yeah, the one where it's just like he went into a bathroom at like a bar or something like that, and this ghastly man came up and groped his tits, and he freaked out, and he was just like, go away, like, don't touch me, and ran out. And Yano went in to see what the fuss was about, and there was no one there. So
Yoshihashi just ended the post with like, damn, I guess I got groped by a ghost then. And it's like, okay.
Okay. Thank you, Yoshihashi, for your very strange diary entries. But yeah, back to Kazu. Yoshihashi in the dojo.
Yes.
So despite their massive experience difference and the visual difference and the basically everyone in the dojo doting on Okada and Yoshihashi, like, he was just very difficult to train up, similar to how Hiromu struggled a lot as a young lion. Yoshihashi was kind of similar. He could not gain weight. He was difficult to train, like the trainers struggled with getting him to understand what to do and things like that. Whereas Okada was, young, tall, fit, healthy, understood things very quickly. So they were kind of, Yoshihashi was always 5 steps behind kind of thing. But despite that, Okada just loved him. Still loves him to this day. He's just like, Yoshihashi's best friend. He's the only partner I want. I'm not going to be in a tag with anyone except Yoshihashi. I mean, he's even said that quite recently. Like, yes, we've seen Okada and Tanahashi team up a lot, but my only tag partner is Yoshihashi.
Yeah, and then like back when last year, Tana was like, "Oh, if you want the briefcase, you have to bet Yoshihashi."
Yeah, that was so weird, huh?
Yeah.
And you could see in like Okada's face that he was just like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
As like rightfully anyone would be. Like Yoshihashi didn't seem to think much about it. Which,
yeah, and this was on like the tail end of Okada's like G1 breakdown, and just after Jay had like fucked up chaos. So it was the implication was like, oh, if you want the briefcase, you have to bet the only person who gives a shit about you.
Yeah, it was very much put your life on the line kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because I mean Tanahashi and Okada have been feuding for like 6 years at that point. And Tanahashi is, he's a bimbo, but he's very smart.
Well, then he's not a bimbo.
No, but it's like he's a bimbo. Like, he's dumb, but he's manipulative. Cunning. He's cunning. It's like Okada's just like, I don't care if I die, but would he care if Yoshihashi was on the line?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a very shocking moment. It's like, wow, that's kind of evil.
Yeah.
It's extremely evil, actually. No offense to Evil, because I don't think even Evil's that evil.
No, Evil's a nice lad.
Yeah, Evil's a nice boy. But yes, when they were trainees, you'd have this massive gap and everything like that. But you'd have Okada. This is back when Okada and Taichi were best friends, believe it or not. Okada was very heavily doted upon by Taichi. This is back when Taichi was, Taichi's never really been a face, but before he was in Suzuki-gun, so.
Yeah. I hate remembering that they're, like, super besties.
I know, it's really weird to think about.
Isn't it like that Okada's parents buy gifts for Taichi whenever they go on vacation or something?
Yeah, they buy him, like, expensive sweets and things. And, like, Okada invited Taichi to his place for the holidays and things like that.
Yeah,
back when Okada used to take over Taichi's blog, because Taichi's old blog is still online. You can find it if you look hard enough. When he used to take over Taichi's blog, all of the posts that he'd make were about how much he likes Yoshihashi. Just like multiple posts. This isn't like a once-off thing. It'd be like, this is how my day went. I really like Yoshihashi. He's so nice to me. He gave me food. He pat my head and told me I did a good job. This is Okada we're talking about. He didn't write novels or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it was just kind of like, oh, that's so sweet. And then like Okada would be like posting pictures of Yoshihashi, and Taichi would be posting pictures of Okada taking pictures of Yoshihashi, and it was just like, this is strange but adorable.
Yeah.
Yoshihashi got shipped off to Mexico. Okada got shipped off to many places. And then they came back at the Tokyo Dome. They had a horrible singles match.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be like their big debut, and it sucked. It sucked super bad. And I think it sucked super bad on purpose, because that night Okada went to challenge Tanahashi, and Tana obviously was like, lol, seriously? But decided, okay, I'll let you try for it then. And then Rainmaker shot.
Yeah.
And the rest is history. But yeah, their first showing was dire. And I don't think Yoshihashi's ever really recovered from that.
And that's okay.
I mean, it's not that great, but yeah. I mean, Yoshihashi obviously had some good matches later on, like beating Kenny Omega in the
I'll
G1.
never stop coming back to that. Him beating Kenny is a ton.
It's so funny, and it could not happen to a better person. But yeah, along with his friendship with Okada, though, he's also super close with Goto.
They're super besties.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. It's like I was talking about with Yoshihashi Camera, how he always films Goto for reasons I'm not sure of, but they go around to cities together, they go, picnics together, they go to cafes together. They got lost in New Zealand once, and they were like walking around the piers and going like, this doesn't look like a hotel. No, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, it looks very much like a pier.
How did they even get out to the fucking piers?
I don't know. This is one of those things where it's like Yoshihashi is obviously dumb as bricks. You can just see it in his face. Like, Goto looks dependable, but he's actually super dumb.
Yeah, they're both on the same wavelength.
They are. The only difference is Yoshihashi is obviously very anxious, and Goto is very much calm. Everything will be fine. Don't worry about it. Meanwhile, Yoshihashi's like running around in circles going, why is this water and not a hotel?
Yeah.
They have a really cute relationship. And their tag matches are pretty good. They match well as a tag team.
Yeah. While he was shipped off to Mexico, he became besties with Shinsuke as well.
Yeah. Besties with Shinsuke Nakamura, who was on his concept retreat, trying to change up his character a bit. When Yoshihashi went on excursion, he met Shinsuke Nakamura, and yeah, they became pretty close. Probably because Yoshihashi was just like, oh god, somebody I know.
Yeah.
And kind of latched onto him rather than like anything in particular, but Shinsuke was just like, yeah, okay, cool. And yeah, because they tried to make him a Rudo, and Yoshihashi, as we were saying before, he's got quite a mild personality.
Yeah.
Pretty chill. He's just a little awkward. Okay, he's a lot awkward. And Rudos in Mexico are rowdy boys.
Yeah.
Shinsuke would buy him dinner and ended up giving him the idea for his Sun Wukong concept, which he's kind of given up on by now, which is fine because I don't think it really suited him in the first place. No offense, Shinsuke. And he gave him the nickname Tacos, which Yoshihashi also apparently did not like very much. So thank you, Yoshihashi, for rejecting both of Shinsuke Nakamura's terrible gifts. Like, I do love Shinsuke, but what the fuck?
No one can understand his mind.
No, you really can't. But his Instagram is amazing. You can go back like super far in Shinsuke's Instagram and just see some really wild pictures up in there.
Is he still just taking photos of water towers all the time?
I think right now that's the majority of what he does, yes. Water towers, surfing pictures, like he is never coming back. He likes surfing so much.
Yeah.
He's gonna live and die on the board, man. Oh, speaking of Young Lionhood and Yoshihashi, how about Yoshihashi bullying Young Lion Jay?
Yes, God, I love that story so much. Imagine being bullied by Yoshihashi. I know that like everyone bullied the shit out of Jay, but like fucking Yoshihashi.
Yeah.
They got Jay shit-faced one night off sake, and it was not great in the morning. He was puking a bunch and stuff. So because Yoshihashi thought it was hilarious, every single time after that, he would just offer Jay White sake. Which is like, it's like, of course he thinks something that's stupid.
Oh,
at least Sho and Yo bullied him properly.
Yeah, of course he thinks something that's stupid is funny.
Oh god, I don't like... Thinking about Jay too much is dangerous.
Oh, dude.
I really hate
Jay
how much
White
I like
is for
him.
bullying.
He's great, but he's not Yoshihashi.
He's not Yoshihashi. I'm thinking about that fucking match of Kenny Omega again and his weird hair. I don't know if our listeners have seen the 2016 G1 match between Yoshihashi and Kenny Omega, but if you have, then you've probably seen Yoshihashi's weird top knot, like slicked back top knot kind of thing. And this is back when he had quite big, fluffy blonde hair. So it was a very stark change. And it did not look great. But apparently the story behind that was he had a really badly strained back and they were thinking of cancelling the match. And he was just like, no, I'm going to do the match. So he just took a shit ton of painkillers and then just like dumped a bottle of water on his head to like hype himself up. And then he just went out and just went out on stage looking like a fucking kappa. So thank you again, Yoshihashi being weird.
His mind is literally incredible.
Yeah, some of the things he does is just, it's very odd. It's very odd.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he doesn't seem to recognize that it's odd.
Yeah, he's not like trying to be like weird and annoying on purpose. He's not like a burrito. He's just a weird dude. And
Yeah,
it's great.
he's just an alien. A goat alien.
That's one way to put it.
I just, now I'm thinking about him in his head again.
That was so fucking funny.
Like, I know he got hurt super bad, but at the time, just like seeing him rushing down the stairs, trying to save Okada from the betrayal of Jay White and Geto, and just see him stack it, and then the really loud metallic clang of his head hitting the...
And the fact that they had to fucking edit it out.
Oh my god, it's just so in character. Like, that just sums up Yoshihashi perfectly. You know, he wants to help, he wants to be the hero, he wants to save his friends, but he stumbles.
Yeah. But he did get hurt quite badly. He was like paralyzed after it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He'd had like some sort of shock response, and he'd also damaged his shoulder that was already damaged. And like,
yeah, he's just taped up forever at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously afterwards, Yoshihashi got a shit ton of hate for it, which is like, accidents happen.
Yeah, for real.
Yes, it was in the middle of a big moment, but like, one, it was still in character. Two, he got up and did what he was meant to do. If anything, like, having Jay like wiping the blood off Yoshihashi's face made the moment even cooler.
Yeah, like the fact that he got back into the ring after smacking his head and like still trying to go through with the whole angle, that was so cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they intended it to be as dramatic as it happened to be.
Yeah, it was like a really happy coincidence, even if it is one that left him out of action for months.
Yeah, and like I have to make the comparison with Titus O'Neil at the
That's the guy who slid under the ring, right?
Yeah, at I don't know what it was, some event. And yeah, he was running down trying to make his grand entrance and tripped and slid underneath the ring. And it was hilarious. People were memeing it for days. But like the same thing happens to Yoshihashi, and it's a reason to like hate on him and call him a terrible worker. It's just like the fact that he got back up and into the ring and fought, even though like he was obviously not well. Like, that makes him a fantastic worker.
Yeah, he's dedicated. He wants to do what he came here to do.
Yeah.
And then with Yoshihashi struggling to put on weight, he lost like 12 kilos while he was out.
Yeah. So, oh my god. Like, he's obviously put it all back on by now.
Yeah.
But you got to think of all that time as a young lion that he struggled to put on weight. It's just like, I hope as he's gotten older, it's easier to put on weight. But,
if it dropped that quickly, probably not.
Because if you've seen his tryout videos, he is so skinny.
He's a stick. It's crazy.
Teeny weeny. And like, he's really tall as well. So it's just, it makes him look even thinner. And it's just like, oh god. Feel sorry for you, dude. But that moment was hilarious.
It was funny and it was great.
Yeah, it was funny. It suited his character. What more could you want?
Yeah, and Jay got to have some fun too.
Yeah.
And I like it when Jay gets to have fun.
You like it when Jay has a good time. Even when his idea of having a good time is making it a bad time for everyone else.
Yeah, I'm not over at the Melbourne show. Him looking us in the fucking eyes right before torturing Tana in front of us.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. That was very
Thanks for the special service. I hate it.
Oh god. I mean, he's great. He's
fantastic.
I'm still kind of sad that like we tried to make the Yoshihashi chant happen. It didn't happen.
Well, look, at least Australians didn't like boo him.
Yeah.
They just didn't really acknowledge him, which is better.
Yes, we are talking about you, America. Stop booing Yoshihashi.
Stop booing him. You love him now. You've listened to the episode. You love him now.
He's now your favorite.
Exactly.
You are now contractually obligated to cheer for Yoshihashi.
Part of the goat gang.
Yeah. Goat boys. But yeah, Stan Yoshihashi. Even if
Please.
he doesn't win, he still gets points for trying.
Yeah, he's doing his best, and he's having, well, I don't know if he has a good time that much, but he's doing his best.
Yeah.
And he cares about his friends.
And sometimes it's more important to try than it is to win.
You know, a hero isn't necessarily big and tough and wins every time.
Sometimes a hero is just there to offer you an egg. And, well, that's all for today. On the next episode of Working Class Opera, we'll be talking about Kamen Rider.